Greetings and welcome to the Faith and Firearms Project. My name is Michael Chan. At the Faith and Firearms Project, we study the intersection of guns and religion in America. In today's entry, this is actually going to be a vlog entry. I'm going to give the second vlog entry about my trip to the NRA National Convention this year, which was just earlier this month, from the April 10th through 12th. Down in Nashville, Tennessee. And one of the main reasons I went down there was to attend the NRA's National Prayer Breakfast. Let's make sure you can see that. And here's the ticket. There we go. So one of my goals was to attend this particular breakfast and just and see what I could learn. And so in this video, what I want to do is actually share a couple of the artifacts that I brought back with me. Things that I'll talk a bit about the program itself. You know, who was involved. What sorts of activities were involved in the prayer breakfast, and then finally I just want to talk about a number of the artifacts, like I said, that I was able to acquire there. And what these artifacts will do, I think, is give you some idea of what was involved at the prayer breakfast. So let's begin just with the program itself. The program is actually had a number of speakers. There were a number of speakers involved, and I should add very high-profile speakers. The preacher for the morning was Reverend Jonathan Falwell, and you may recognize the last name in particular. It is the son of Jerry Falwell. And so Reverend Jonathan Falwell is a senior pastor of Thomas Road Baptist Church in Lynchburg, Virginia, and that is a church that his father also pastored. So Reverend Falwell was our speaker for the morning. He gave a sermon that was effective. I think you could probably effectively call it a kind of gospel sermon with a call to repentance and a call to accept Jesus as one's personal savior. He was accompanied by, in fact, his worship leader, Charles Billingsley, who you can see there in the bottom left-hand corner. Charles Billingsley is a very high-profile Christian artist. Although he's the worship leader now at Falwell's church, he has previously served as the lead singer for a contemporary Christian band called New Song, and is an award-winning artist. So he and his band led music for the morning, and the music was very worshipful in nature, which is to say that people were expected to participate in a worshipful manner in the singing. We were also visited by J. Frank Harrison III, right here. He is actually the CEO of Coca-Cola, and so he came and shared a bit of a testimony about his own sense of vocation as a CEO of a major company, and the way that he sees that as part of his own ministry in the world, and the way that he deploys the institution in service of that ministry. And then finally, John Smith Baker, who you see in the bottom left-hand corner. And John is relevant for a number of reasons, but one of his ministry that he founded was featured at the prayer breakfast, and it's called Fathers in the Field. So here you can see a bit of a program there. And what Fathers in the Field is attempting to address what he calls a lost generation of boys. So he gives a number of statistics related to this, that fatherless children tend to have more challenging lives. And so what Fathers in the Field does is connect fatherless boys with men, and then they are able to engage in hunting and shooting, sports and activities as a way of as they say here, quoting from Isaiah 1:17, defending the cause of the fatherless. And there are, let me show you some more pictures. There are a number of biblical texts that, make sure that gets into focus. There are a number of biblical texts that inform their own thinking that you can see there. there in front of you. But like I said, this is a ministry that John Smith Baker has started, and it is an attempt to address this phenomenon of young boys who don't have fathers, and so men then can come and play kind of mentorship roles for these young boys, and it's specifically related to hunting and to shooting. The next artifact that I want to show you, let's see, the other one, it's on the back side of this. One of the major sponsors of this particular event is Trijicon. There you go. And you can see, this is on the back of the program. You can see there's a quote there from Ephesians 6:13. At the top it says, full armor of God. And then it cites the verse in full, therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. Now, some of you may remember, as I got the bookmark, may remember Trijicon from there we go, just make sure it's in focus. Trijicon is an optics company, a very high-end optics company. They make, for instance, rifle scopes or binoculars or spotting scopes. And their rifle scopes are used especially by the U.S. military in a number of different branches. And there was a controversy some years ago about their scopes because apparently Bible verses were part of the serial number. And so since these, and these optics were then being used by U.S. soldiers, and so this caused a bit of a controversy, resulting in, as I've spoken with a number of former service members, retired or some veterans, and they were told, at least in their situation, to kind of etch those away. So there were some real consequences to that controversy. But Trijicon is an outspoken Christian company. They make no secret of the fact that that faith is a part of their business, and so they were one of the sponsors for the year. The last artifact that I want to point to is this. Again, let's make sure it gets in focus. There we go. This is called America's Life Reference Manual, and on the front you can see it contains the New Testament, it contains the Psalms, it contains Proverbs, and it also contains in the very back the Declaration of Independence and then the U.S. Constitution. Now let me put this in a bit of context. The Life Reference, or the America's Life Reference Manual, is part of a larger set of publications done by a ministry called Go Therefore Ministries, and you can find their website at gothereforeministries.org, and they publish a number of different manuals of sorts. This one, I think, was the only one that I saw on hand, and it seemed appropriate for the occasion, that they would have the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, documents that are of course very important within NRA circles. But they have other life reference manuals, like the Family Reference Manual. They have a motorcycle bikers reference manual, an outdoor sportsman manual, a trucker's manual, a youth reference manual, rescue worker, military, athletes, students, etc. So they have a whole range of reference manuals. And so this is a fascinating book, of course, for me, right? I'm a biblical scholar, and so when I look at a book like this, I think, wow, that is fascinating, in part because of the canonical move that's kind of made here, which is to say, the fact that that biblical books like the New Testament, Psalms, and Proverbs are bound together with the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, effectively this puts on some level those documents on a different kind of level, on a sacred level. And I don't think I'm misrepresenting anyone to say that for many of the members that I encountered at the NRA and for many of the spokespeople of the NRA, these texts, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, have a sort of sacred status. One often hears them described as kind of they are revelations, revelation of natural law or freedoms that are. Here's the way it's typically put. These two documents, the Declaration of Independence and the U.S. Constitution, are documents that reveal God's will. They reveal God's will for humanity, and they have been adopted by America. And so I think what you're seeing here in the Life Reference Manual is really the codification of a functional canon. Let me say that again. What I think what's happening here in the Life Reference Manual is the codification of an already functioning canon, which is to say, for many of the people that I talk with in the NRA, it's not that the Bible and the Constitution are necessarily the same thing, but both of them do function as kind of sacred literature or as texts that reveal God's will. And so this is, of course, a particularly fascinating artifact, and one that I thought was worthy of a little bit of discussion, just because of the fact that those documents were all bound together. Well, I hope this was informative. As you can tell, I learned a lot while I was at the NRA meeting, and in fact, this is not the last video I'll do on religion that I encountered at the NRA. I simply wanted to show you some of these artifacts from the prayer breakfast. This was only from the prayer breakfast, by the way. One finds references to religion in quite a few different places, but these are the things that I encountered at the NRA prayer breakfast, which happens yearly, as far as I can tell, typically on a Sunday morning. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you. Leave some comments down below, and if you have any comments or questions, or maybe you were there at the NRA meeting and you saw some other signs of religion, make sure you contact me, faithandfirearms007@gmail.com, or leave a comment down below, and I'll make sure to look at those. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. Have a nice day.